my fellow bipedal, oxygen breathing, carbon based primates. Uh, hi, I'm not doing too bad, having a little rough go, I guess. Can't keep any thoughts regular. I know what's wrong with me, or so they say is wrong with me, and I take my medication properly. I try to do all the exercises, whatnot that I've been told to do to keep my brain activity on a wave. It's not easy. I don't think that I'm actually doing anything right at times. Today is a bad day. Don't know what's wrong with me. Just the thinker's not thinking thoughts, and I don't know. I was thinking thoughts earlier, but that all changed. It's 5 minutes to 5 here right now, so it must be about 2 hours ago. All of a sudden, I went from, not a bad day at all to confusion. I, I got the buzzing in the back of my head here again. It's been a long time since I felt this way. Um, as you probably noticed, my focus is off. I can't just sit and talk to me because that's who I see. I'm actually talking to if anybody ever sees this. Um, I don't know if there was a trigger that got me set off. I don't know what happened. I did speak with my landlord this morning, but it was a good conversation. He told me it was something about, he was giving me a description of something. I can't remember exactly the conversation. I wasn't all there for it. I was earlier when I first woke up and I just was not in the right frame of mind. I was going out for my morning smoke while my coffee was being, while the water was boiling for my coffee in my kettle here. But I don't know. No, I bought a tattoo kit here not long ago that I did a couple on myself and I have more to go. But today was going to be a day when I sat down and did a few. Maybe one big one, but I was planning on a few smaller ones instead. But I was going to lean either way. Um, but I'm not going to even attempt that because I could probably get halfway done something and then lose interest in it. And that would just be stupid and cause more harm than what I've got on me already. I've got some pretty bad ones. Back when I was a young fellow and knew how to make tattoo machine out of a VCR or any small electric motor, remote control cars. Back then we had the right size motor in them. I suppose you could still get them today, but I used to be able to make a real nice machine, put out a beautiful line if you used the right size needle, which uh, at the time used to do COD, and for 1,000 needles, I think it was 99 cents, and it cost $1 and change. I can't remember exactly, $1.15 perhaps, $1.20. So for less than $1.50, you got 1,000 needles. Each needle you can either use it as a single or we'd triple them up, solder them onto a piece of uh, like our own homemade tattoo shops, and made our own grommets so that took the vibration out. Oh, I had a nice little setup there for making machines, and I learned how to make ink, and that's where I messed up my arm and my legs. But now I've got a not professional but semi-professional equipment. I'm gonna fix some and cover some. I have about 18 that I can either meld into a nice, half sleeve or something like that, or I might, scatter them around the body and do something else for the half sleeve. I also have my niece going to be doing some of my work for me. She's an awesome artist. She has tattooed. She's pretty good at it. From what I've seen of her work, she needs a lot of practice. Well, I'm getting old. I don't care what goes on me now. Like, they say it's on there for life. Yeah, I got another, 20 years, 30 years? Who cares? At least it'll still look good by the time I go, eh? But I got a cemetery that's right down here, and that's on the east side, right directly back here behind this wall where that flag is. At that far side of the house, we have about 2 feet, 2.5 feet. So that'd be what? That'd be 3 meters, maybe, close to 3 meters. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it's close to 3 feet. Anyway, that's the road to get down into the cemetery. Now I've heard some noises out there, and stuff like that. You'd figure it's a quiet place where everybody's, you know, buried. But living here for the past few years, uh, I bought a big spotlight there a little while ago. Well, not a big one. I bought a spotlight. It shines up the back there real nice, and where my window is right here, uh, I'm looking at the headstones, and some of the noises that was coming out of there, I had, tried to video and such like that. Well, it was on an afternoon. I heard one of the spooky noises that I had heard before, and I checked it out. And as I'm looking out through the window, I saw a female fox, a vixen, and she had some pups with her. or kits or whatever they're called. I don't know. Baby foxes, and they were going from south to north through the graveyard, and she was chittering away at her babies, and they were chittering back. And she was being pretty loud, and they were being quiet, but I had my window open and I could hear them. So that was one of the spooky noises that I found out what it was. And then in my first year here, I found out what the other one was. It was like it sounded like a great big animal going, but with a whistle sound to it. I can't whistle, so I won't try. Anyway, for about 4 nights, I sat here and I watched out. I didn't have the spotlight at that time, and I kept watching out. Well, my landlord downstairs had just put a motion detection uh, light on because he has a garage out here on the south side, and he uh, he had it set up so that it was really sensitive, and he didn't have it tight enough, and one of the things kind of angled off that way, and there was a big buck that was walking right along the property line on our side of it, because there's like what is there, probably about a dozen and a half sumac. That is a big maple tree, beech tree, maple tree. There's an ash and an oak side by side. So, a few different styles of trees. Some of them are big, like this maple, that's the biggest. The oak tree is just coming behind it there. It's got about 15 feet behind. It will catch up. But anyway, the buck was walking, and directly out where I'm looking right now, which would probably be east southeast, is the pole where the clothesline is. And I heard the big whoosh, and the light come on about a half a second after. And I sat up and I looked out, and when I did, I saw this great big buck. I counted; he had eight tines, so nice 8 pointer, and he walked very slowly and right straight this way here. If I'm looking direct east from where my chair is, I'm looking right straight down the side of the house here. I'm on a little extension out this way more, and that's where my landlord's half of the house is. And the buck stopped right there. Well, the buck stopped, good one, but it stopped right there, and then it gave a couple more grunts and stuff like this. And I had been watching it because the light was on still. And then a doe come out, and she triggered across the yard there pretty quick, and then another one come and did the same thing, and I counted, and there was 14 does, and some of them does had little ones. I counted 8 little ones. There was 2 sets of twins out of them 8 little ones, so half of them were twins. And I've been watching them now for the last few years, and the buck is gone. But the I guess she would have been the main doe. She's now leading the family, and they still come through every year. This must be their migration route because they come through the backyard this way every year in the springtime and going north. And then in the late fall, early winter, I guess it'd be late fall, not early winter. They start going south again, and they come right through the yard. This family, and they've gone from numbers of, like I said, one buck, 14 females is 15 adults, and 8 juniors. You know, like, that's a pretty big family. And now, when I counted them coming down last fall, uh, there was 12 of them, and that was one set of twins and one smaller button buck. He had little spikes on him about that long. I was lucky enough to find it on the side of the road up here on my walk to go visit with my family, and I found it on the side of the road. I wish I would have found the match to it because then I would have had great earrings. But instead, I gave them to my niece, the one that's going to tattoo me. Excuse me, I gotta get some orange juice. My mouth is getting dry. Ah, no sugar added. Ooh, I can tell. So anyway, I was uh, I was sitting outside earlier, and I just enjoying the day. It's, you know, past the heat now in summer, so I was out there just enjoying my day. I was sucking on a fag, having a smoke. Called fags in Great Britain, I believe it is. Europe, maybe the whole place, I don't know. But anyway, here we call them smokes or darts. Canada's, you know, we're supposed to be known as calling them darts. I don't call them darts, they're just smokes. But over there, I guess they call them fags. What do you do when you're having a smoke? You're sucking on a cigarette, right? Well, instead of saying a cigarette, use what they do in London or something like that, call it a fag, so you're sucking a fag. Say that in a crowd of people, that really gets you eyeballed. You know, like I don't smoke in the house, even, well, if it's somebody's, if there's heavy smoking in the house, I will smoke at somebody's house. But if they just smoke in their house once in a while, no. Not unless we're smoking something else. And then if we're smoking something else, the smell of a cigarette, what the fuck? It's not like it matters then. But um, yeah, when it comes to smoking, I take it outside. So I usually tell people I'm going out to suck a fag. For a while there, I used to get looked at. I still get looked at by the odd people who don't know me, but by everybody who knows me when I going out, they'll even ask me, "Going to suck a fag?" Yep. I'll just go out and I'll wander around off the step or something like that. Sometimes if it's raining, though, I'll sit inside on the porch or whatnot if they got one. If not, I hope they have a carport. That's about the only time I will smoke in somebody's house if it's raining or bitter cold. Because, like I said, I live in Canada and we can get some pretty cold temperatures up here. They don't call us Great White North for nothing. Like even now, it's August, and what was? Hey Google, what's the temperature?
The current temperature in Woodstock is 20 degrees.
All right, it's 20 degrees. Figure it out in Fahrenheit. I don't know. I That's what I go by is Celsius. But as you notice with measurements and weight, I usually go by the imperial. If I'm doing business with somebody or something like that, I'll use metric, of course, because that's what the rest of the world uses. But I can use both. Takes me just a little bit for math in the head, just my head's working to do the transfer of weights, uh, like measurements of different lengths, and I used to know all the numbers right off by heart, but my brain's not working, not like it should. So I gotta get used to it this way. I got a good kid though. She knows everything. And when I say I got a good kid, I mean she knows everything about everybody, but her lips don't say nothing unless she's talking to the person she knows that shit about. And it's in private. Nobody like her in the world, that one. Her husband, I call him the Viking just because of the way he looks. He's got a great big huge beard, long blonde hair way down, here. It's really, really thick. Usually keeps it up in a real tight bun. Not just a loose man bun, or it would still be that big around. But he has to really do his hair up, put his hair up. It's thick and wavy. And when he has it down and he's got his beard all combed out and whatnot, they're going out on the town trying to look good. He looks like a goddamn Viking. All he needs is the armor. But another reason why I call him a Viking is, well, he brings home big money when he goes out of town because he owns his own business. I'm not going to say what, but he owns his own business. Has a few people working for him. He works every day. Well, I shouldn't say every day. Most days. There's sometimes he has other stuff that he's got to do for the business, but the business is owned by my daughter. She was put in charge of that, and anyway, he goes out of town. When he comes back, he has money. Every now and again, for people that he knows, or people that he knows, somebody they know, maybe swing a deal for doing some of the work on their house for something. Uh, he treats my two grandsons and my granddaughter. The grandsons are not his; they belong to another man. But my granddaughter is his. But he doesn't treat the boys any different than he does his own daughter. And for my oldest grandson, he did work at somebody's house. And for my oldest grandson and my youngest grandson, or I guess he's not my youngest grandson anymore. I got a younger one now. But he was the youngest. No, he was middle grandson. Still is. Okay. Anyway, got the oldest grandson and the middle grandson. The oldest one got a 4-wheeler, and the middle one got a dirt bike. And the daughter, she was too young at the time when he was doing the work. Well, rather than get her a machine like that, uh, the boys are going to allow her to ride double and until she's big enough to have her own machine. And As of right now, he had traded work with someone. I don't know what the dollar value was, but my granddaughter now has on the side of the yard, they had a little side hill that was, oh, like if you were to bring it out level, it might be hip high for me, and I'm 6'1". So whatever that would be, 1 meter. There, I'll use that for measurement of length this time. Because I'm 2 meters tall, so half my height, 1 meter. Um, if, if you bring it, that's one floor, and then he put that much more again, so a second story, and it's like uh, on the bottom, uh, they put like the sponge pad underneath the flooring, the click flooring, and on the bottom they used just a cement slab, and then they used to spray stuff. I don't even know what that stuff was. And then they put another flooring on that. So anyway, it's supposed to keep the floors a little warmer in the winter, I guess. The cold doesn't come up through as fast. Something I don't know. I think that's the way my daughter was explaining it. But anyway, she got a little playhouse, 2-story playhouse for her, and she should be able to play in that for uh, at least the next 3 years at what it is, and then uh, they have designs on it that when you unscrew it and uh, you take the top off, you could take that floor off and put the top right back down on and still have the same floor plan basically, but now instead of having to duck your head or something like that, you can walk through it. An adult can walk through it then, and by then she's probably going to be in junior high, high school maybe. Be a place for her to have. I'm sure that the Viking will put heat in it. It's already got uh, it's hooked up 4 speakers. It doesn't have the speakers yet. They're coming. He's going to do another job for somebody to wire it up. And then there's going to be like cameras and whatnot. And when she plays out there, she'll have her own little house. She's excited about it. So they're still doing a little bit of work. I can't remember what all's being done, but it's nothing major. Like she could play in it now, and she does. Looking up here remind me there's a little bird that comes by here. I gotta look that up. I don't think it's an evening grosbeak, but I gotta look it up. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna look that up. So nice chatting to me. Um, if anybody ever sees this, hello, my fellow carbon-based, oxygen-breathing bipedal primate. I hope you have yourself a good day today. End stream. Okay, I will. Bye.